Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to the fifth video on hash search. We will solve some GATE questions. Let's see GATE 2004 question. We are given some input here. These are the keys. And the question is the hash function is x mod 10, that is key mod 10, that is key percent 10. And the question asked is which of the following statements are true? Check the first argument they are making is 9679. You can check that what is asked here is that if these are the keys and the hash function is x mod 10, then the argument they are making is first point they have said is these keys hash to the same value, and indeed they will hash to the same value. Check all the keys over here which I am underlining end with 9. Then 9679 percent 10 x mod 10 will be of course the last digit. Any number percent 10, if you obtain the remainder, you will always get the last digit. So obviously 1989 will also get mapped to address 9, and 4199 will also get mapped to address 9. So these keys will get mapped to the same value, isn't it? Will get hashed to the same address. Same argument you can do for the next code or next set of keys also. 1471 and 6171 end with 1. So they will hash to the same address, that is 1. The third argument they are making is all elements hash to the same value. This is wrong. This is wrong because 4322 will get mapped to second address and 1334 will get mapped to fourth address. So addresses for some of the keys will be different. And the fourth argument they are making is each element hashes to different value. This is also wrong because we saw that so many keys get mapped to the same address 9. So which of these arguments are correct? Obviously first and second is correct. So option C is the valid option over here, isn't it? The question was highly simple, isn't it? And most of the questions on hash search are simple like this. Let's see another question. GATE 2014. Now, in this question, they have said that consider hash table with 100 slots. So hash table is having 0 to 99 elements because there are 100 elements in the hash table. Collisions are resolved using chaining. This is very important point. That means if you assume a hash table here, hash table is having 0 to 99 elements, and each element in the hash table is a pointer. It's a pointer, and it will point to a linked list which stores the keys which are mapped to that particular address. Next point said is assume simple uniform hashing. Now don't just treat this term as a very heavy term. What do you mean by uniform hashing is that given the set of keys, these are the keys that we are going to map in this hash table. Uniform hashing means all the locations of this hash table 0 to 100 are equally likely to be used. I mean, it will not happen that say this first element of the hash table will never be used. It will not happen. All the elements of the hash table are equally likely to be used. That's uniform hashing. What is the probability? Now the question says, what is the probability that first three slots are unfilled after first three insertions? So assume that we have done first three insertions. There are some three keys given here. Many keys are there. Many keys are there. But just imagine we have inserted only first three keys into our hash table. Then what is the probability that after inserting these three keys, first three slots will remain vacant? Isn't it so? That's the question. Now, how do you solve this question using probability? Is that to find out the probability, you have to first find out the sample space, isn't it? Because the probability of any event is equal to number of favorable cases divided by sample space, that is number of total cases, isn't it so? So if you are having a hash table of size 100, just check this. If there is a hash table of size 100, which has 0 to 99 elements, 100 elements are there, then imagine you are inserting first key in this hash table. Just imagine you are inserting first key in hash table. Where will that key go? Where will you insert that key? That depends on the address decided, and all the addresses are equally likely, isn't it? That means the first key can go to any of the 100 addresses, correct? Now assume we are inserting second key. Where will that second key go? It can go at any of the 100 addresses because all the 100 addresses are equally likely, and the same is the case with the third key. The third key can also go to any of the 100 addresses. So the number of cases, actually the sample space, will be 100 into 100 into 100. That is 100 cube, and that means 3 factorial upon 100 cube. The fourth option given is not possible. First three options are obviously possible because the sample space given is 100 cube, isn't it so? The most important point over here, is that the word chaining. Just check. You must get this point which I am telling you. We are having hash table from 0 to 99. Just imagine we are not using chaining, but you are using linear probing. Okay, linear probing. Now imagine first key is inserted. Imagine first key has got inserted at the fifth location. Let's call it as K1. So how many places were available for the first key? 100, isn't it? 100 places. I'm talking about the sample space. Hello, I'm talking about the denominator. 100 places were possible. Now imagine you insert the second key. Now where will the second key get inserted? How many locations are possible? 99. Observe, because you are using linear probing now. I've changed the question. 99 places are possible because even if the second key K2 gets mapped to the same address, come on, you cannot store K2 at the fifth address. So K2 should get mapped to some other address, isn't it? It should get placed, it should get inserted. That's the word, inserted at some other address. That means there are only 99 possible places because one place has been already booked by K1. Isn't it so? So while the first insertion, there were 100 places available. For the second insertion, any of the 99 places. And for the third insertion, once K2 also has been stored, we have only 98 places. In that case, if we were using linear probing, then the sample space over here, the denominator would be 100 into 99 into 98. Are you understanding? But then what happened when we use chaining? When we use chaining, I hope you are understanding this. When we are using chaining, we know that hash table is table of pointers having 0 to 99 pointers. Now just imagine key K1, key K1 got mapped to address 5. So it was not stored inside the hash table. The key K1 was stored in the linked list. So how many places were possible for insertion of K1? 100 places. And now imagine another key K2 is also inserted and K2 also gets mapped to same address 5. Then hello, we just extend this linked list and store K2. So how many places were available for K2 when chaining was used? Again, all the 100 places, isn't it? And for K3 also, if K3 also get mapped to the same address 5, then K3 can really go to that address 5. That means any of the addresses are available for all the three insertions. So the sample space over here would be 100 into 100 into 100 when you are using chaining method, isn't it? But if we were using linear probing method, then once K1 is stored inside the table, as you see, then this element is booked. So first time you had 100 places, but second time you have 99 and third time you have 98 places. So sample space would be 100 into 99 into 98. So I hope you have understood that the denominator of this probability formula should be 100 cube. Now, what are the favorable cases? That is numerator. Just see this. This is very easy now. Hash table is 0 to 99. All elements are pointers. And you are asked, the favorable case here is that 0, 1 and second places should remain empty after the first three insertions. So what we have to assume is that the first three insertions did not happen at these first three locations. So where did the first three insertions happen? Anywhere in the remaining 97 places, isn't it? So when you inserted first key, maybe it got inserted at 23rd location, first key. So how many favorable places were there for the first key? Obviously leaving out the first three places, because that's what the question says. First three places must be unfilled. You had 97 places. And what about the second key? How many places are available? Remember, we are using chaining. Then all the 97 places are still available, because if K2 gets mapped to the same address 23, K2 will be simply inserted at the address 23 by extending the linked list. So all the 97 places were available for K2 also, and same is the case with K3. So indeed, the favorable cases are 97 into 97 into 97 upon 100 cube. So that's what is the answer, isn't it? That's what is the answer. You can obviously pause the video and you can read out these few points that I have written over here, isn't it? And why? Why was the numerator taken as 97 cube and denominator taken as 100 cube? And rather, what would happen if we are using linear probing? Listen, if we were using linear probing, then the answer would be, just check, the denominator will be 100 cube, but the numerator will be, first time we have 97 places because first three elements must be unfilled. But the second time we have 96 places, and for the third time we have only 95 places. This would have been the answer. Anyway, oh, I don't think this question was, this option, yeah, this option was there. Oh, good Lord, look at that. Option C. Anybody would feel that this is the correct option, but the trick here was about the chaining. We can use the same slot again and again by extending the linked list. So each time we had 97 slots. So option A is correct. I hope you agree. Okay. So now let's come GATE 2015 question. The question asked is, which one of the following hash functions on integers, so all the keys we are mapping are integers, will distribute keys most uniformly over 10 buckets? By 10 buckets, what we mean, is the hash table. Hash table is having 0 to 9 elements, 10 buckets. You can think of each element over here as a bucket. And we are going to throw the key in the bucket. So 10 buckets means that we are having 0 to 9 elements in the hash table. And numbered from 0 to 9, it's given. Yes, the buckets are numbered from 0 to 9 for I ranging from 0 to 2020. Oh, good Lord. That means how many keys are we having? Check, the question says that the number of keys that we are having is keys are from 0 to 2020. That means so many keys are getting mapped into this hash table. But hello, the hash table is not having enough space. It's having only 10 elements. So actually, we have to assume that we are using chaining method, isn't it? Yes. And chaining method can very well store these so many keys 0 to 2020 in the form of a linked list. Okay. So that's the question. Repeating it in one line, we have been given a hash table. We have been given a hash table of size 10. That is, the buckets are from 0 to 20. Sorry, 0 to 9. I'm so sorry. And the keys that we are hashing are in the range 0 to 2020. All these keys are to be mapped into the hash table. So first we will map 0, then we will map 1, then we will map 2 up to 2020. Then what are they asking is, which of the hash functions will distribute the keys most uniformly? Just check, this same word uniform we had in the previous question also. Just let me refer the previous question again. Just check this. Assume simple uniform hashing, isn't it? And what I said about uniform hashing is that all the places in the hash table are equally likely to be used. Or rather, we will not have any element absolutely not used, isn't it? So what do you mean by uniform over here is that all the places from 0 to 9 are equally likely to be used, and you will never see that out of these keys 0 to 2020, so many keys we are hashing, after hashing all these keys, maybe element number 2 remains empty. It will never happen if it is uniform hashing. I hope you are understanding. I assume we have mapped all these keys 0 to 2020. So many keys we have already mapped. And after mapping so many keys, we observe that the second element is not at all used. Then it is not uniform hashing, isn't it? All the locations should be equally likely used. That's what is the question. So which of these functions are ideal so that all these keys will be uniformly hashed? Now you have to try out a few keys over here. Excuse me for this. We have so many keys 0 to 2020. Come on, during the gate exam, we just can't map all the keys 0 to 2020. So many keys we have. But at least we can try with 0 to 9 keys. And then 10, 11, up to 2020, can be logically thought of. So I am taking the first option A. You observe what is the hash function given in the first function is I square mod 10. So take each key, square it, and then divide it by 10 and obtain the remainder. So I have taken the keys from 0 to 9 and I have squared each key. 0 square mod 10, that is 0 mod 10 is 0, so the address is 0. Then I have taken the first key 1. 1 square mod 10 is 1, so the address is 1. And so on. As an example, 9 square mod 10 is 81 mod 10. 81 mod 10 is 1, so 1 is the address. Now, if you watch, the addresses we got for the keys were 0 to 9, isn't it? The addresses we got were 014, as you see 0149656. Observe 6 is getting repeated. There is no issue of repetition of the address, but you observe that in this set of addresses, some positions are not at all used. Just observe 0 is used, address 0 is used, 1 is used, but 2 is never used. You can see in this list of addresses, address 2 is never used, isn't it so? And I think address 3 is also not used. You can find out rest of the addresses which are not used. And can you believe it? This sequence, is going to get repeated. For example, if I take key as 11, note I have taken only keys from 0 to 9. If I take key 11, then the address of that key, address of 11 is going to be, oh, sorry, I have to take key 10. I'm so sorry. The last key I took was 9, and we have to go up to 2020, correct or not? If you take key as 10, its address will be 0. Key 11, its address will be 1. Key 12, its address will be 4. Key 13, its address will be 9. Just observe this sequence. This is same as the sequence we are getting here. That means up to 2020, we are never going to get the address, 2. We'll never get this. Or 3. That means 2 or 3 addresses will remain vacant. And that's not uniform, isn't it? That's not uniform. That means I square mod 10 is not the ideal function for uniform hashing. I hope you have understood this repeating sequence here. Try it on your own. 14, if you take 14, the next key, its address, but naturally will be 6. Just try this. Okay. So that's what I have written. Option A can't be the ideal option over here, isn't it? Now try option B. Option B is the hash function I cube mod 10, and I have processed the keys 0 to 9 and I have mapped them, and these are the addresses I have got. Just check it on your own. And the good news is we are getting all the addresses from 0 to 9. Hash table is having only 0 to 9 addresses. It is of size 10, and all these addresses are getting used. Now if you try it on your own, the next key 10 I have taken up to ninth key. Next key 10 will obviously give us the address 0. Just check it. 10 cube mod 10. 10 cube mod 10 is 0. 11 cube mod 10 will be 1. 12 cube mod 10 will be 8, 13 cube mod 10 will be 7, and so on. Are you understanding? The same set of addresses, same sequence is getting repeated. And the good news is all the addresses from 0 to 9 are used. So that's uniform hashing. Then option B is obviously correct. And there is no need to check the other options C and D because one of the options was supposed to be ticked. I hope you have understood. Very interesting question, isn't it? Thank you very much.